What if I told you there's a loudspeaker series so extraordinary that JBL spent 40 years perfecting it? A collection so exclusive that each speaker is named after the world's most legendary mountains? Today we're diving deep into the JBL Summit series. And if you're serious about experiencing the absolute pinnacle of home audio in Singapore, you'll want to stay until the very end because we're about to reveal something that will completely transform how you think about sound in your home. Welcome to the Sound Gallery Show. I'm Marco from Marketing, and I'm speaking from Sound Gallery by IMS, Singapore's premier destination for luxury audio experiences, with showrooms at both T-space in Tampines and The Adelphi in the heart of Singapore's City Hall district. We're not just talking about speakers today. We're talking about a 40-year legacy that traces back to 1985 when JBL introduced Project Everest, a technological showcase that defined what residential audio could achieve. And here's why you should care. In Singapore's competitive luxury audio market, where discerning buyers have access to every premium brand imaginable, the Summit series stands apart because it brings together 4 decades of acoustic innovation into 3 distinctive models, each one representing the absolute best in class for its category. Now let's talk about legacy for a moment. In 1985, JBL introduced Project Everest. Think about that year. It was the dawn of the CD era, and JBL made a bold statement. We're going to create a technological flagship that showcases everything we know about loudspeaker engineering. Then came Project K2, which pushed that vision even further. Fast forward to today, 2026, JBL's 80th anniversary, and the Summit series carries that torch into a new era. Here's what's brilliant about JBL's naming convention. Every speaker in the series is named after legendary Himalayan peaks. Summit Amma, named after Amma, the Mother's Necklace Mountain at 6,812 meters, often called the Matterhorn of the Himalayas. Summit Pumori, nicknamed Everest's daughter, rising to 7,161 meters and sitting just 8 kilometers from Everest itself. And finally, Summit Macallu, the world's 5th highest peak, standing at an imposing 8,481 meters with its perfect pyramid shape. Every Summit Series speaker features finely crafted enclosures with carbon fiber baffle trim, luxurious high-gloss finishes available in either black gloss or ebony veneer with either Summit Platinum or Summit Gold detailing. These aren't just speakers, they're statement pieces that command attention in any space. Now let's talk about what makes these speakers truly exceptional. There are 4 core technologies that define the Summit series experience. First, the compression drivers. The Summit series uses JBL's patented dual diaphragm, dual motor compression drivers. Think of this as the heart of the high-frequency reproduction. Summit Macallu uses the massive D2830K, a 3-inch compression driver, while Summit Amma and Pumori uses a D2815K, a 1.5-inch dual diaphragm design. These aren't your typical tweeters. They're precision-engineered compression drivers that deliver incredibly controlled distortion-free highs, extending up to 33 kHz on Amma and Pumori, and an astonishing 34 kHz on the flagship Macallu. That's well beyond human hearing, but it contributes to what audiophiles call air and presence in the soundstage. Second, HDI Sonoglass acoustic horn. This is where JBL's 80 years of horn expertise comes into play. High-definition imaging horns made from Sonoglass create what JBL calls large format waveguide that mates perfectly with the compression driver. The result? Incredibly precise imaging, wide dispersion, and that legendary JBL clarity that makes every instrument in the mix distinctly audible in its own acoustic space. Third, the HC4 cone technology. Every woofer and mid-bass driver in the Summit series uses what JBL calls hybrid carbon cellulose composite cone, or HC4. This is a proprietary triple-layer design made from carbon fiber and pure pulp front and rear surfaces, sandwiched in an internal core of closed-cell foam. Why does this matter? Because it provides the perfect balance of stiffness, overall mass, and internal damping to deliver high output, low distortion, and exceptional power handling. The 8-inch mid-bass drivers feature accordion edge surrounds, while the woofers use half-forward roll surrounds, details that ensure linear excursion and long-term reliability. And there's one more detail that serious audiophiles will appreciate. Every Summit Series speaker includes Isoacoustic's adjustable acoustic isolation feet. These aren't generic spikes. They're precision engineered to minimize cabinet resonance transfer to your floor, ensuring that every ounce of energy goes into moving air, not vibrating the room. Alright, let's get into the details of each model, because choosing the right Summit Series speaker isn't just about budget. It's about matching the speaker to your space, your listening preferences, and your acoustic goals. Let's start with the Summit Amma, the stand mount reference loudspeaker built around an 8-inch woofer. This is a two-way design, which means it uses the D2815K compression driver with HDI horn for highs, and a single 8-inch HC4 woofer for everything else. Here's what you need to know. Summit Amma delivers frequency response of 25 Hz to 33 kHz with a sensitivity of 84 decibels. That sensitivity rating is important. It means you'll want to pair this with a quality amplifier that can deliver clean power. JBL recommends 25 to 200 watts RMS and with a maximum SPL of 107 decibels. These speakers can fill a medium-sized room with effortless dynamics. Who is Summit Amma for? This is the speaker for the discerning listener with a dedicated listening room or a compact space where stand-mount speakers make sense. It's also brilliant for near-field listening, critical listening sessions where you're sitting in the sweet spot, completely immersed in the music. Now we move to the Summit Pumori, and this is where the Summit series enters three-way territory. Pumori is a 10-inch floor-standing reference loudspeaker that uses the same 2815K compression driver and HDI horn up top, an 8-inch HC4 mid-bass driver in the middle, and a 10-inch HC4 woofer at the bottom. The specs tell the story: 25 Hz to 33 kHz frequency response with a sensitivity of 87 decibels, 3 decibels higher than Amma, which means it's easier to drive. JBL recommends 25 to 250 watts RMS, and the maximum SPL reaches 111 decibels. That's concert-level dynamics in your living room. Who is Summit Pumori for? This is the sweet spot for many audiophiles, the perfect balance between size and performance. If you have a medium to large living space and you want full-range sound that doesn't require a subwoofer, Pumori delivers. It's equally at home with stereo music as it is anchoring a high-performance home theater system. And now the crown jewel, Summit Macallu. This is the current flagship of the Summit series, a 12-inch floor-standing reference loudspeaker that represents everything JBL knows about residential audio. What sets Macallu apart? First, it uses the large D2830K compression driver, a full 3-inch dual diaphragm, dual motor design, mated to a custom high-definition imaging Sonoglass horn. This is the same compression driver technology found in the world's most advanced professional studio monitoring and cinema systems. Below that, an 8-inch HC4 mid-bass with accordion edge surround. And at the foundation, a massive 12-inch HC4 woofer with half-forward roll surround. The performance envelope is extraordinary. 20 Hz to 34 kHz frequency response with 88 decibels sensitivity. Recommended power is 25 to 300 watts RMS, and the maximum SPL reaches 113 decibels. Who is Summit Macallu for? This speaker is for the uncompromising audiophile. If you have a dedicated listening room, a home theater room, or a large living space where you want to experience music exactly as the artist and engineer intended, Macallu is your answer. For Singapore's luxury homeowners, whether you're in a good-class bungalow, a premium condominium, or a landed property, Summit Macallu represents the ultimate statement in residential audio excellence. The Summit series demands professional setup, calibration, and expertise. which is exactly why Sound Gallery by IMS exists. We're Singapore's authorized JBL distributor with showrooms at T-Space Tampines and The Adelphi, offering personalized consultation, professional installation, acoustic room treatment, ongoing support, and the ability to experience these speakers in person before you buy. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you're serious about experiencing the JBL Summit series in person, reach out to Sound Gallery today, and we'll schedule a private demonstration at whichever location is more convenient for you, whether that's our Tampines showroom at T-Space or our Adelphi showroom in the city center. You can hear Amma, Pumori, and Macallu for yourself. Bring your favorite tracks, bring your questions, and let's find the perfect Summit Series speaker for your home. Visit Sound Gallery by IMS and discover why the Summit Series truly represents the pinnacle of residential audio excellence. I'm your host, Marco, and this has been the Sound Gallery Show. Until next time, keep listening.